Hey guys, today I will be explaining the metaverse for those of you that want to know more about the metaverse but don't know where to start. If that sounds like you clicked on the right video. Before we get started, welcome to Hip Finance. My name is Dylan Hippensteel and I go over what I feel are great financial tips and tricks as well as any new financial news that is going on in the world. I post videos every Monday and Friday, so be sure to hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on any new videos. And just as a disclaimer, this is not financial advice. We have heard the word metaverse everywhere these days, and some of us are clueless as to what the metaverse is and what it means for the future. Well, don't worry, because I'm going to explain to you exactly what the metaverse is and what it holds for us in the future of video games, finances, and technology in today's video. So let's get right into it. People and companies have become more and more interested in shared virtual spaces. The world of VR has taken off, and it doesn't seem like the future is far away from where people have headsets strapped to themselves at all times. Things really took off as Facebook's owner Mark Zuckerberg kicked off the year by changing Facebook's name to Meta, as he plans to create a metaverse with virtual worlds where people can share spaces and interact with each other. This is an idea which he had been working on for years now. Mark Zuckerberg claimed that he had been working on the idea of a metaverse far before he was trying to figure out a social media website like Facebook. While Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg is trying to dip his hands into the virtual reality-based worlds, he's not the only competitor. It seems like Microsoft is deciding to launch its own version of a metaverse, which will be an enterprise-based metaverse. Metaverses consist of digital shared spaces where people coexist and work together or can adopt any identity that they want. Here are some depictions of the metaverse that we have seen in the media today. While the metaverse seems like something positive as technology is progressing, initially, it was a term that was coined and used by author Neil Stephenson, where he depicted a metaverse as an escape from the harsh reality. In his book, the people didn't enjoy their lives and sought relief in the form of a metaverse instead. Also, The Matrix featured a similar concept where people were enslaved by technology and robots and were forced to live out their lives in fluid-filled pods. The people lived in virtual worlds where they lived through happier versions of their life, all while robots use them to generate energy and resources for themselves. While the metaverse seems like a really bizarre concept when you think about it, it's not that far off from what we've been initially building over in the form of internet, social media, and virtual reality. Mark Zuckerberg states that the metaverse is actually something that we live inside of instead of just looking at, which we all do while we are looking at laptops and computers. Facebook has been working on a metaverse for as long as it has acquired the virtual reality-based startup Oculus back in 2014. They have been working closely with the developers of the Oculus ever since. The metaverse would definitely be tied to gaming and education, which has been the norm for virtual reality recently. Mark Zuckerberg is trying to fuse the idea of virtual shared spaces and being able to connect and interact with each other socially in these spaces, which is how the metaverse concept is being started off. The aim of the metaverse is not only to be social and to play a few games here and there, but the key factor here is that Mark Zuckerberg wants to create a shared virtual world where you can do anything you would like. In this regard, he wants to simulate the real world and your real world experiences as much as possible to replicate it within the metaverse. So what does that aim to do? Suppose you and your friend want to play a game of basketball with each other and want to shoot some hoops. Well, you will be able to do this virtually. The metaverse will be actively updated with all kinds of content updates to make those experiences seem like reality. Suppose you want to get some office work done as well. The metaverse will cater to you and you'll be able to do your office work in a virtual office workspace right from the comfort of your home. You could also watch a movie or show on a virtual TV within the metaverse, or pull out your virtual phone and make a phone call to a friend or family member within the metaverse. The user accessibility is going to be game-changing when the metaverse takes off. The main thing to consider and the main key element of the metaverse is the user's character or avatar. The avatar will be a 3D rendition of the user's character model and will display the user in accordance with their desires. Users can dress up their characters to show off their identity and style. And that's not all. You can literally be anything you want to be within the metaverse. Say you want to be a cat, a dog, or even Bigfoot, you could possibly become that as well, or even things like a watermelon. Now, I know this sounds crazy, but the possibilities are endless. The main purpose of the avatar is to just give the player a sense of identity and navigation so the player can move from one area to another by moving the avatar around the 3D space. Now, you might be thinking, why would a metaverse appeal to so many people? Well, for starters, people have been more and more living indoors and inside their homes for over 2 years now, as COVID has caused a worldwide pandemic and lockdowns happened throughout the world. People had to attend classes on Zoom calls, they had to get medical checkups on a video call, and people had to work their office jobs from their homes. A metaverse could make all that pretty easy, as people can interact with 3D virtual environments like a 3D classroom, a 3D office, or a 3D clinic. Also, 3D shops could enable users to thoroughly inspect goods and items online, so they can buy something in accordance with their needs and wishes. While this seems very lucrative and attractive, there are many things to consider as well, because living your life online isn't all that healthy. People who spend too much time inside tend to gain weight, develop lazy habits, and are unable to live a fulfilling and active lifestyle. This is very damaging to a person's physical and emotional health. And living inside a metaverse and getting used to the idea of one could be very claustrophobic and very frightening to get used to, as people start living in virtual spaces and become detached from reality. Kinda as they did in The Matrix, where people lived happy lives virtually, while robots enslaved them to generate electricity and trap them inside fluid-filled pods. There are also so many other things to consider. Things like identity theft could become another big problem online, as hackers can gain access to users' metaverse accounts, which could abuse and destroy the relationships and online lives of users. Trolling is another nuisance that will prevent the metaverse from functioning peacefully, as some people just want to watch the world burn and will do anything to disrupt the normal functioning of the metaverse's ecosystem. Hopefully, the developers of the metaverse will enforce security measures and rules that will keep the metaverse's virtual worlds intact. There's also fear that the in-game currency of the metaverse might generate a wealth gap between users, such as the real-life inequalities between the rich, the middle class, and the poor. Keeping all that out of the way though, there's also the problem of cost and budget when considering getting into the metaverse ecosystem. Users need to spend a considerable amount of money to get into the virtual world, such as a powerful PC, a VR headset, and controllers. Considering the chip shortage that has struck due to the pandemic, it makes you worried that computer components aren't going to go down in price for a while, or until the normal chip manufacturing process resumes. Epic Games is also looking to dip its toes into virtual reality and has been experimenting with its battle royale video games like Fortnite. They've hosted immersive 3D concerts with famous celebrities like Travis Scott and Ariana Grande. Those demos were a show of what the metaverse could bring to us in the future, as virtual concerts become the norm. Many celebrities are also looking forward to doing virtual reality-based concerts in the future instead of doing worldwide tours. So we have to ask ourselves, what are the effects of the metaverse? The metaverse could also have an impact on a person's livelihood as well, especially if companies start to dig around a person's private life on the metaverse to try and figure out their presence and standing within the metaverse. However, I guess you could say that companies already do this by checking out people's social media platforms. So even while companies are posing that the metaverse is all sunshine and rainbows, it can become a seriously dark reality, especially if Facebook's user monitoring and selling data are kicked up a notch. But for now, the metaverse is a model concept and we haven't seen many functioning metaverses so far, so it's definitely hard to say where we will end up. Now, it won't be easy creating a metaverse and providing the infrastructure, economy, and support to keep it up and running, but it seems like Facebook is willing to give it all to create the perfect metaverse. While we do shop online and spend a lot of our social time online as well, we aren't quite ready to completely integrate our lives into the virtual world. And for now, we are only getting a small taste of what's yet to come in the future. With that being said, Facebook has recently launched a pair of virtual reality gloves as well. These gloves are going to make feeling and touching things in the virtual world a reality. These are a pair of VR gloves that are lined with tiny motors that shoot outbursts of air to mimic the sensations of touch, vibration, and pressure. Facebook is making big moves to make the metaverse more appealing to individuals. They are doing this by creating gloves so people can use them instead of using things like the clunky VR-based controllers that we have now. If a person uses the Meta VR gloves and reaches out for something within the virtual world and grabs it, they could, in theory, feel and hold the object in their hands. Say the person could hold and feel a baseball or feel the grooves and pits on a golf ball just by using the haptics-based glove. And it just doesn't end with gloves. Many other companies are looking into the use of haptic clothing as well. You might be wondering what that is. Well, several companies have built full-on suits that are capable of putting touch sensations onto the bodies of people. Facebook and many other companies are getting closer and closer to making the metaverse a reality, and we can see it becoming released to the public sometime in early 2024. But for now, we're not sure whether it's a good idea or a bad idea to move towards a completely virtual world, but I guess only time will tell. So that's going to be all for today's video. I hope that this video gives you a better understanding of what the metaverse could look like and the potential it could have on all of our lives. But anyways, please make sure to like, subscribe, and turn notifications on so you can get updates on any new future videos. I upload brand new videos every Monday and Friday on YouTube, and I will link my Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter in the description below, where I post short-term content multiple times a week. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.